What's going on, fellas? Yet another educational video full of ball knowledge on the YouTube. If I look over to the left, it's because I have my OBS, so I can see if my webcam deactivates because it freezes. But essentially, this video is going to be about how to optimize your meals and your caloric intake for maximum performance inside and outside the gym, like how to feel good, not feel like a chud 24/7, and how to progressive overload and make progress in the fastest way possible in the gym. So let's get right into it. So right when you wake up, we're gonna hydrate. I literally, it's 9:02 right now. I've been walking for a decent minute. I'm at 4,000 steps, but I hydrated right when I wake up. Take some electrolytes. I personally love the EKKOVISION. Tap in code LONGO to save yourself some. Best brand for supplements in my opinion. I absolutely love the brand. Everything is super nice. And then after that, I have some caffeine. Have a big cup of joe right here that I'm going to start drinking. But essentially, you just slept 7 to 9 hours without drinking anything or eating anything, so your body's very depleted and it needs those electrolytes or hydration in general. Water is the most important thing, so make sure you're chugging some water right when you wake up. A liter's pretty good to have within the first hour, I'd say. So let's go over diet structure before we go into everything. So protein, we're going to be wanting 0.72 to 1.1 grams per pound of body weight, and depending on how aggressive a deficit you're in, you want to go higher. If you're not in a deficit, you could go lower. If you have maintenance or even in a slight surplus, you could definitely go towards the lower end. Just for the deficit, just maintaining as much muscle as possible. And then for the maintenance, it doesn't really matter that much. But then fat, you're going to want to go 0.3 to 0.5 grams per pound of body weight, because this is super important for your hormones and ensuring that that's in check. I do the lower end of 0.3. I'm able to sustain that long term and my hormones are fine. Then carbs, just fill in the rest. As you can see, it's broken down. Like, I'm a little bit less than 1 gram per pound of body weight in protein, probably around 0.9, 0.95, 0.9, and then the fats, as you can see, around 0.3, and then the rest are just carbs. These are net carbs, so I think total carbs for the day was around 450 this day, but that's the diet structure we're going to be utilizing for the duration of this video. Okay, so routine. So training around the same time every day allows for simplicity and consistency within your body and also within your mind. So it creates systems, and these systems allow you to adhere to your goals, and it optimizes your nutrition more efficiently. So what this looks like is, for instance, for me, I'm going to talk about my meal structure. I'll talk about it in a second, actually, but sticking to that meal structure and being able to train consistently around the same time every day really helped me optimize my performance, because every variable is the same, and I eat very similar foods every day, so find meals that you love. What I eat is not going to be what you eat, because you're not going to like the same things. That's completely subjective. So find meals that you like and just stick with them. That's how I structured it. So breakfast will be first, then pre-workout will be around 12:30. Post-workout will be right after the gym, then dinner, and then a pre-bed snack. So essentially, that's just how I go about my meals. If you guys want to copy that, you can. Don't feel the need to. Again, everybody's schedule is much different. So breakfast. So I like to have a fattier meal for breakfast, because it simply just satiates me, along with some protein, and it's farther away from my training. So what this means is it's not going to be digesting all this fat and sticking in my stomach, slow digesting, and fats are slow digesting while I'm training, because I'm eating it farther out from my actual training session. And then have some eggs for breakfast, or just eggs in general. They're so nutritionally dense, and it's a great cheat code for hitting so many micros and so many minerals, so many of the things that people would tend to supplement. Eggs are a cheat code. Have them. Tap in, bros. So right here, I'm putting a picture of each one of my meals. It's just sourdough, egg whites, spinach, mushrooms, and then eggs, obviously, and some frozen fruit with some cinnamon on top. Absolute peak. And then some honey drizzled on there too, but absolute peak breakfast. The pre-workout, this is where we get into the nitty-gritty bulk of this video, really optimizing right here. So many of us know that we need to go carb heavy, and we essentially we don't want to have too much fat because it's slower digesting. We do not need to load up on fat pre-workout. Maybe I'd say sub 10 grams or around 10 grams is like the cap that I would do. But if you do greater than 10 grams, you could still get an effective workout. But many people know that. But now going into the more niche or nuance in this, we want to use both glucose and fructose. So there's different carb pathways. I'm not too educated on this, but there's different carb pathways and absorption availability, meaning that your cream of rice, let's say you have cream of rice and fruit, they're going to go through different pathways. The cream of rice is going to go through one, fruit is going to go through another, and this allows you to absorb, I believe it's 1 gram of carb per minute, like is absorbed and digested. So allowing those two pathways allows you to optimize your carb pathways and your training performance as a result of that. And then the timing, you want to consume them around 60 to 120 minutes pre-lift. If you have a higher fat meal, again, go closer to that 120 so that you can digest fully, because that fats make it slower digesting. And then 60 minutes or even as low as 30 minutes if you don't have a lot of fat, because that'll allow you to utilize the carbs quicker because there's not a lot of fat, like I just said. And then this will just muscle and liver glycogen support. Obviously, this is kind of the basic. Glucose fuels muscle directly, while fructose helps replenish liver glycogen. That's kind of the difference between those two. And then it'll allow you for an optimized session, and doing this every day will ensure that your body is primed and ready to lift. And then post-workout, carbs are very important still post-workout. Again, here I'm having, in the last picture I had like a cream of rice bowl, but here I'm having a slop bowl. I started eating it and I forgot to take a picture, but essentially what it is, it's like salmon, rice, avocado. Fats aren't of the utmost importance in this because you can have fat. You're not going to go training. It's going to be fine if you digest it a little bit slower, but don't go crazy. But usually a protein and then a lot of carbs to replenish the glycogen after your muscles have been depleted from the lift. Again, this is the very nitpicking. Not necessarily everything you do here has to be down to a T, because you still will get good results. This is talking about maximizing the results. So we want to do it very soon, as soon as possible. All right, I looked over to my left and I saw that my webcam froze, so we're just gonna keep going. I don't know where it froze at, but hopefully my voice still picked up. But we're gonna support muscle glycogen and liver glycogen replenishment. Again, you could opt for glucose and fructose for that, and it helps enhance recovery, reducing fatigue, improving fullness overall, and performance in the long run. Okay, dinner. You could eat whatever, to be honest. I love potatoes and beef. Potatoes are the most satiating food. It's actually the GOAT. And then make sure you're getting your micros in, so eat some veg. Not much to say on this slide, but look at that meal. It's absolutely banging. Potatoes, you could have like 500 grams and it'll run you like 350 calories, especially if they're russet potatoes. Absolute peak. Tap in. And a lot of potassium too, so you won't be bloated. Then pre-bed, I like to have kiwis because it does actually have some melatonin in it. And then a fruit bowl, whatever, and then that's an air fried barbell. If you guys have not tried that, try that. It's actually so good. And don't eat too close to bed, because you do not want to be digesting. That'll allow you to not get into deep sleep as efficiently or as effectively, because your body's going to be focused on pooling blood in the stomach, which is not something that we want. You're going to feel heavy, you're going to feel weighed down. So don't have too much fats pre-bed. I like to have like 15 at most, so that I'm not going crazy digesting. But essentially that's pretty much the pre-bed snack. It's nothing crazy. Kiwis are super good, super nutritionally dense. Again, it's not enough melatonin to really knock you out, but it does help. Might be a little bit placebo, but whatever. That's it for the video, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, tap into the Discord. We're getting some more members now, getting a little bit more active. It's in the description if you guys are interested. And then also tap into code, like I said, Longo for EKKOVISION, because you guys need to be hydrating. And also the supplements, other supplements and apparel. Pre-workout's great, protein's great. Love their apparel as well. And then also tap into LONGOLIFTS on Gympin to get a Gympin save on seatbelts, Gympins, even wrist straps, everything. But EKKOVISION's wrist straps are really nice, so tap into those. But hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.